Oh, mama, here we go. All right. So, all this talk about balkanization and other stuff like that, that's nice, and it's for the here and now, or within the past 50, in the next 50 years. I'll put it that way. What about space exploration? Now, of course, I could take the standard take that a lot of folks do and say space is gay. As we, I remember on Twitter, I remember it was that guy, it was the guy who had the baboon avi, Bleppy. That's it, Bleppy, guy from Finland. And Bleppy made this meme where it's like space is gay and party like a and they showed all the reasons why space is gay and everything else like that. But I do think that space exploration is going to be something that people are going to push for, and it is being pushed by, ironically, more of these, these Voshites and these types of folks who are just like, well, actually, space exploration isn't a form of colonialism. I guess in some people's eyes, but it's just bad that Elon Musk is the one doing it. If we actually got, NASA going, and I think that, space exploration is definitely something that is going to be used as a way to distract people from what is going on the ground, in my opinion, on the planet Earth. I think it's nice to say, oh, well, in general, I think is that NASA, I'm looking at their missions and everything else like that. The reality is that they, in the Space Force, I think that in general, NASA, since 2011, NASA's strategic goals have been extend and sustain human activities across the solar system, expand scientific understanding of the Earth and the universe, create, innovate new space technologies, advance aeronautics research, enable program and institutional capabilities to conduct NASA's aeronautic and space activities, share NASA with the public, educators, and students to provide opportunities to participate. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the Space Policy Directive. Okay. I think in general, it's still about exploration. The long-term goal is exploration of Mars and potential, I'm sure it's just like anything else where it's like, what's the potential for war or how many Martians actually live underground? Are they similar to us? All that sort of stuff. But I think eventually the goal is to terraform that planet. And of course, my understanding of terraform comes from Red Dwarf. That's once again, you see the intricate mind, the way my mind works. So, but yeah, that's how I think of terraform, where you can just get some little thing and create Rimmer World or something like that. It's ridiculous, but that's how I see it. And I think that it's going to be one of those things where it's just like anything else, where Africa, the African continent was seen as a plaything of the British rich, as people like James May of Top Gear said, is that, it was just a bunch of hoorays out on a holiday, or on a leap year. Yeah, that's what, a bunch of hoorays out on a leap year. And that's really what it is. That's really what it is, where it's just like these rich guys were just lying to themselves. They're sleeping with different women. They can go and travel across, these things and say, oh my gosh, it's horrible out here. Please don't come, oh, yeah, please send money, and that is true though. And that's what it's going to be. I think, when we when the US and China and whoever else are going to come to Mars, is that it's just going to be a bunch of hoorays, as the British say, a bunch of hoorays going around and, maybe they'll find some Martian women with, I don't know. Could be some real Star Trek shit. But I know that in general, space is legit gay. And really it shouldn't be any of our fucking business. But we're just stupid enough to believe that it is so. But I don't know. Like I say, there's a lot of folks who are much more intelligent than me that'll talk about it. But me in general is that space travel, I don't know. Maybe I've watched too much sci-fi crap in my life. I don't know. It seems like an interesting idea, but in general, I think that it's going to come down to privatization. You're going to have rich folks like Elon Musk who are going to get into. The reason I say it's because I noticed this comment. I saw a clip of that Three Arrows guy, the Suck Dem, who made all those videos about far right and everything else. And apparently he has a podcast that he, shills on his Patreon. And he showed a clip of it for about a minute and 45 seconds talking about, the decline of the U.S., yada, 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 yada. We've heard it. And there's this guy who made the comment where it's just like American billionaires lust over the power of, they want to have, they want to be able to harvest asteroids so they can get all the metal that they never got in the. It's like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. That doesn't make any sense to me because it's like, okay, you can harvest asteroids all day, but it's like we are nowhere near technology where it's like we're gonna start having gigantic trucks or like I don't know, cat vehicles to travel down to Earth. It's like that doesn't make any sense. No, to me, they're gonna use that metal not for the planet Earth. They don't give a shit about that. They want to be able to continue to terraform Mars or the moon. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a shit about some nonsense about, I don't know. That's just silly shit to me. But I was just like, whatever, dude. You know what I mean? It's just like, you're not really thinking on the same timeline as everybody else. I don't know. I think it's worth talking about to a point. But I think that, like I say, NASA, to me, apparently they're having some new mission. What is it? What is it? Oh, let me see what I was looking at here. The SpaceX Dragon. Yeah, meet the crew for the 4 spacebound astronauts launching aboard SpaceX's Crew Dragon. So they got a couple Americans, a Frenchman, and a Japanese dude. Yeah, that's who it is. I mean, it's just who gives a shit? In all honesty, because it's just like. They're just exploring. They're going to spend more time in space to test this shit, MacArthur will pilot the same spacecraft that her husband and fellow astronaut Bob Behnken. Oh, wow. A little bit of nepotism. Well, does it count as nepotism? I don't know. It's just so ridiculous to me. I don't know. I can't get excited about shit like that because ultimately the chances of me or anybody, in the U.S. or just even on this planet that is not trained to be an astronaut are ever going to get the chance. See, the thing is, it's going to be, our kids or grandkids or whoever, if we're lucky to go that far, who are going to be traveling through space. So that can be some elite as they're portrayed, or, some Star Trek type shit. I see it more as like a, once again, you get to dig into my thoughts here a little bit, but, I think of it more like I don't want to do the Reddit Marvel thing like the Space Lord shit. I was thinking of, what's that show? I'm trying to think of it. Here, what show was he? What show is that? Nathan Fillion. Yeah. I can't think of what show he did. What show is it? Let me see here. I'm trying to think of it because it's going to bug the hell out of me. Oh, yeah. Firefly. That's it. I think of it like Firefly, where it's just some losers that are flying in space, this whole group of folks who just travel through space and, do shit like that. That to me seems more realistic, some fat loser or whatever that's traveling through space, or Red Dwarf even. Or Red Dwarf, they're part of, the mining corp, or the what is it? The mining corp. I can't think of what mining corporation it is offhand because I'm not that much of a loser. But yeah, I think of that. I think of that's the only chance a lot of ordinary folks are going to get to travel across the, the space-time thing. And of course, I saw Caspian Report did a video talking about, space as well, and mutual cooperation and keeping satellites in the, in space and everything and all the trash or whatever. It's just like, to me, it's just going to be the same thing with what's going on planet Earth, is that there's going to be folks who, once technology gets good enough, you're just going to have folks that collect that trash and build all sorts of shit. I imagine you can melt that shit down or rework it. And once you can do that, then people are going to make their own stuff, For right now, it'll be, on the planet Earth, but eventually it's going to be in space, This is, maybe that's ignorant thinking. Maybe it's just small-minded, petty thinking, but that's how I feel about it. Is it, to me, space travel won't be that much different than what it was, in the 19th century or even, in earlier times. Just like, it's going to revolve around a bunch of rich folks who end up going into space and who colonize these things, and then, eventually revolts and everything else like that. But those take time, and people stay, in these little worlds that they can have their little rich lives, and then they continue on. I don't know. Maybe that's too simplistic thinking. I'm going to record this tomorrow. I'm going to send this one out tomorrow along with the other video that I recorded 2 days ago now. But, like I say, I just do the 3 videos a day. I think that's much easier. And it's like today, I'll admit that I kind of timed it out a little. I didn't really time it that well. I did it within like a half hour. So maybe I'll try to space them out a little bit more throughout the day. Oh, yeah. Also, one last thing. I'll probably try to post a video. I'll see if it gets blocked, unless I change some stuff here and there. I'm going to try to do a video on one of my favorite episodes of Magnum P.I. Since this is Uncle Thomas Magnum, I might as well, update a little bit, and I'll actually post a video about Magnum P.I., one of my favorite episodes, which is a Silent Night, which is just an episode where they get stuck on an island and, wacky adventures ensue, that type of thing, from 1983. So hopefully y'all will enjoy that. See you later, and bye-bye.